Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Lady Nyca, and with last night's episode of the Have and Have Nots family. I have been trying to record this. I have tried it through the Spreaker several times. I even tried to upload it as a video last night, and each and every time I met with opposition. It's double uploading to YouTube, never processing out. I had to get rid of it. Child, just YouTuber problems. You wouldn't understand unless you do this too. But it's irritating. But nevertheless, here I am to try once more and again to bring you the review for the Have and Have Nots Season 6, Episode 10, entitled 15 Minutes. Wyatt, we open up with his crazy ass again. Child, he done snuck the shotgun that he found last week out of the basement over into the dining room area and hid it and snuck his ass upstairs as Veronica and David is trying to still strategize with his parents on how they gonna get out of this mess. It's a little hard to do because, see, Veronica and Catherine keep going back and forth at each other. David and Veronica had made calls and were aware that the grand jury had indeed indicted all of them and that they would be arrested soon. Catherine and Veronica want to play tit for tat, but Catherine did ask, so what do we do now? Veronica said, don't wear no girdle this time, because they know they're going to jail. And if you remember back when they went to jail the first time, child, back when Random TV Reviews was calling the jail the FEMA jail, Veronica had an episode where she had to remove her doggone wig, and her cornrows looking like Cleo from Set It Off was visible to us. And since she told Catherine not to wear a girdle, Catherine told her, make sure you don't wear no wig. Then they go back and forth with each other because Veronica is telling Jim and Catherine they should have got a grip on Wyatt, drug addict ass, a long time ago, and possibly allowed him to just go on and go to jail. Maybe it would have helped him opposed to hurting him, and they wouldn't be sitting here right now. Now y'all know Miss Katie ain't gonna just let her read her like that about her child. She came back with, how is Jeffrey? She knew when she said that was going to make Veronica feel some kind of way because Veronica is so in her feels about her son being gay. Catherine say, last time I seen him, he was gay and happy as hell. David and Jim is urging the women to stop. Meanwhile, upstairs, Wyatt done called Jeffrey on the phone talking about his parents, and Jeffrey's parents are downstairs. They all together right now. Things can pop with them right now. He can read them. Jeffrey not quite understanding what it is that Wyatt's talking about, and he's not really putting much validity into it because we all know that he's a drug addict, and right now he is really out of control because he's fuming. Wyatt got mad because he could not convey, I guess, what he was feeling to Jeffrey, so he ends up hanging up without explaining what exactly it was that he was supposed to be going to do. Back downstairs, Veronica and Catherine still at each other's throat. Catherine probably drunk at this point because she's been drinking since they met up to come up with a strategy. Then all of a sudden, a sober Veronica begins to get paranoid and spaz out. She telling David, you only wanted to reunite with me because you knew this was coming and you would need me. Child, Catherine is laughing at her because she said that no paranoia is, and of course it increased to the point where this woman is saying that he don't love her. He's not apologetic for sleeping with that whore. That would be Erica. And she storms out. Catherine don't care, but Jim and David do because they need to keep Veronica on the team because the last thing they need is for a mind like hers to go over to the other side, cut a deal, and come for them. So David went after Veronica. Now, over at the hotel, Landon is bringing dresses for Candace to try on, right? She gonna be accompanying Charles soon to D.C. Child, he had this ruffled baby blue thing that she wasn't too excited about. She didn't like it, but Landon thought it was nice. She said, well, you wear it for him. He said, child, if I could and he would notice me, I'd do it in a heartbeat. They laughing about it, but Charles is standing in the doorway and heard it all, and he not happy. He tells Landon to exit the room and leave the dress. Candace knew that Charles was in his feelings about what he had overheard and tried to tell him it was a joke. But he said that ain't no joke. He's serious. And if he continues to make those kind of comments, he gonna be out of a job. Candace turned on a little of that sweet candy cane and started kissing all on him to get him to calm down some. Then she moves into telling him, I feel pretty good today. Last night was rough, but I feel good. He want to know, have you made any attempts to talk to your mama yet? Because I think that'll be good for you. She listening, but she ain't certain of what he's talking about because she know that her mama and her relationship is very tense and she know why. Child, then he informs her that he is her man now. And it's all good between them as long as he's her only one. And she said that it was, which he already knew that because, girl, he got the CIA, FBI, Secret Service, and local and state police watching you. Then she asked him how things going on his end. And he said, well, half the country loves me, the rest hates me. She felt like she could identify with that. Child, he said he had 15 minutes before his next appointment and he just wanted to be with her. She thought he meant sex, but no. He sat down behind her and pulled her into his arms and just wanted to hold her as he's promising to never hurt her. See, I like this. That's what I want for Candace. I think Candace is a very good actress and she on this show appears to be very intelligent. I've always wanted her to do better than escort Candy Cane, mean girl Candy Cane, heartless Candy Cane. So that's the reason why I drug her from one side of Savannah to the hood, which is where this is supposed to be filmed at, okay? But child, she told him that if he ever hurt her, she'd have to hurt him back. And of course, he not really worried about that because Charles has already told her on several occasions, girl, what you over here doing ain't nothing compared to who I really am. And let us never forget, he gave the story of how he goes from Charles to Chucky. Okay? Next, we see Jeffrey then call Madison to apologize for how he treated him at David's house. Madison a little surprised, but he accepted an apology and he apologized to Jeffrey for possibly stepping out of line with him, right? So he also goes on to tell Madison he don't like it when Madison upset with him. He said, I'm not upset with you, I'm just concerned. But they agreed to move on. Then Madison asked him where he was and he didn't want to answer. So that made Madison feel like he was either at Justin's place or headed there. And he's urging and begging him, please don't go there. That man give me bad vibes. You think he just gonna be okay with his parents, with your daddy making him get jumped on? Not at all. He's not going to accept that at all. So he tells him, give me the address to where he lives. Jeffrey said, I'll text it as long as you're not coming over here trying to start nothing. He said, I'm not coming over there, but I need to know in case I have to call the authorities. Jeffrey promised to call as soon as the visit was over, but he would text him the number. Now, I got the feeling in this episode that Jeffrey is beginning to feel some kind of way. I think he's starting to realize how unhinged Justin is and how dangerous he can be. But I'm still wondering why you keep poking the bear. If you're cautious, you walk away. You don't walk into the lion's den expecting not to get your ass ate up. But whatever. Then we have this scene where we see like this. I'm assuming this is the current cabinet members or current members of the current administration all having a meeting at the round table trying to discuss how to find information or can they find anything on Charles. Because they all concerned about once the power switches hands, will they be out of a job? Now there was this one guy in particular, I don't know his role, y'all, but he was really adamant about finding something on Charles, and the other members at this round table is saying we have dug until we can't dig no more. He's squeaky clean. Remember, a couple of episodes back, Charles said that he was something else. He was chosen for this position, and they cleaned him up really, really good. So that may be why you can't find anything. Child, they're trying to watch this man and get anything, so much so they have caught a clip of him with Candace. Now, the main guy that was talking, he paused a little bit when he saw Candace, froze her picture on the screen. Everybody in the room is saying, we checked her out too. That's his girlfriend, and she's clean. So the main guy talking asked everybody except for this one guy to leave out of the room, where he admits, she ain't clean, that's a whore and she robbed me. So I guess the plan now is to dig into Candace's background. I know Landon cleaned her up, but they gonna dig a little deeper so that they can use Candace's background to gain leverage over Charles as he enters the White House. That's what I'm getting. So trouble is coming. Then we see crazy ass Justin at home, all anxious, waiting on Jeffrey. Then we see Jeffrey outside in the parking garage, acting like he afraid to go on inside the apartment. And I'm like, well, if you scared, go home. When he get out the car, headed to go inside, he gets a call from Wyatt, and Wyatt is talking about talk me down. Talk you down for what, man? What is going on with you? You were doing good at first. Wyatt said I was doing good till they removed Anna. They found out that we made out, and they got upset, and they removed her, and this has caused me to kind of spiral out of control again. Then, because he's not in his right state of mind, because he's feeling, somehow he gets to thinking that Jeffrey had something to do with Anna being removed because he's jealous. Jealous of what is what Jeffrey asked him, and so did I. He talking about, man, I'm just going to go down there and take everybody out. Because he in that delusion that he's in, because he's famous, Jeffrey's not taking him seriously. Told him, go on, do it. And make sure you don't call me anymore. And he hung up on him. Soon as he hangs up, who appears in the garage? Justin. How you know I'm in here? I didn't know you were down here. I just felt like it. That's why Jeffrey kind of starting to get concerned. Now, child, he up there telling Jeffrey how nice he looked today, and Jeffrey thanked him. And then, of course, the narc in him, he wants to get that back. He wants to have it reciprocated. So Jeffrey told him the lie that many of us probably done told somebody, you look nice today. Bless your heart. But that ain't what he wanted. He wanted him to smell him. And then he asked him, what do I smell like? Jeffrey said, you smell like me. This boy is now wearing Jeffrey's cologne, the same cologne. They gonna wear the same cologne because he's so into. See, that's not normal. You can't tell me that you done with somebody or you over trying to deal with somebody when you can't get their name out of your mouth. When you truly ready to move on and leave folks alone, you don't harass them. You move on and live your best good life. But see, Justin can't do that because he has an obsession with Jeffrey. And for some reason, he thinks Jeffrey is worth all of this. You done gave up your family, your wife, and everything. You think this man ain't unhinged, and Jeffrey beginning to see he don't have that power that he thought he had over Justin. In fact, I feel like Jeffrey fearful. Justin started trying to convince Jeffrey to go on, come on, let's go inside this apartment because it's supposed to be such a beautiful place. He wants to show Jeffrey their new living quarters. I told y'all Jeffrey's starting to feel scared and he's apprehensive. Instead of him just going on and leaving before he even got to this point, because he ain't just started feeling this. He been doing this the whole episode. He lie and say, give me just a second. I need to call and check in with my dad. Boy, you better get in that car, drive off, and run like hell. Now, over at the Ironbone Mitch family business, he come in there looking for his Uncle Vinny. Cousin say, I told him where that white kid live. Of course, that makes Mitch upset because he don't want Vinny to just attack this boy because he gonna kill him. And he also saying that the Cryers and Mama Rose have had some alliances. Jim Cryer has helped the family get off on certain things. Vinny come in there and don't care about none of that because the boy owe him money and the boy tried to attack him. Mitch is begging him to allow him to just talk to the Cryers and see if they can work it out. If he got my $50K, we might can work something out. And who you now? You the peacemaker of the family? Mitch said, yeah, something like that. Mitch said, well, Vinny said, we can be peaceful after the kid's dead. But again, Mitch is urging him and begging him, just give me a minute to go talk to the Cryers and see what we can work out. Against Vinny's better judgment, he decides to go ahead and give Mitch some time. But don't procrastinate because I'm going to get this boy. I'd rather just kill him. but I'm going to give you a chance to do this, what you doing. Over at Hannah's house, Derek, and Benny having dinner. Derek and Hannah is just laughing and enjoying the conversation with the meal, while Benny is sitting at the table just as salty because he upset because he don't like his mama having interest in a man beyond himself. He's a mama's boy and quite bitch made in this episode, but okay. They unbothered. They still enjoying their dinner because his salty ass ain't gonna spoil their dinner. After dinner, there's a knock on the door. Benny go to the door and it's Candace. She talking about she want to talk to mama. First, he's surprised she said mama, but she want to talk to him, so Benny and Hannah agree to talk to her. Benny notices something ain't right about her. You look like you been crying. What's wrong with you, girl? Hannah was ready to disregard and put her out, but Benny asked her to just hear her out, mama. Listen to her a minute. Hannah said, this girl don't want nothing but try to come here and con us out that money because she want it. Candace says to their surprise, I don't want the money. In fact, return it to Jim Cryer. But see, now Benny looking crazy because, I need $20,000 of that because I owe interest to Mitch family on that money I borrowed. Hannah is upset thinking that, you ain't even had that money that long. But Miss Hannah, girl, this is street logic, this street business. This ain't nothing that goes on inside the corporate America boardroom meetings and stuff, girl. These people, the streets go by a different code. I don't care if he had the money. 2 hours he owe interest, and that's what these people are looking for. Candace said she had a solution. She said that $8 million has accrued interest. Maybe Catherine will allow Hannah to have the interest so that it'll allow you to pay that debt off and everything will be good. Then Candace pulled at Hannah's heartstring because Hannah wasn't feeling it. She started talking about and produced this ring that Hannah gave her as a child and recalled how and why her mama gave it to her. She said, Mama, I just want you to know I always kept it even when I lost everything, including you. Baby, that hit Hannah. She began to tear up and told Candace, I ain't never left you, nor have I ever. You never lost me. I just don't stand for what's wrong. Candace and Hannah went down memory lane, and it ended with Hannah saying that she loved her. In fact, she loved both her children, and she told Candace, I just can't stand for wrong. Candace apologized for ever asking her to. Hannah told her that she loved her, and again, she would lay her life down for her. And y'all, Candace surprised me and told her mama she loved her, and she was sorry for disappointing her. She took responsibility for everything she done did, including being such a bad parent. She allowed her son to be in a situation where he was killed. Hannah told the girl, you never thought this would happen? No, I really didn't. She said, well, Candace, I never took away the fact that you were his mother, and I knew you loved him. I just wanted to protect him. And at that moment, Candace gave her little Quincy ashes and told her, you deserve it more than me. She told Benny, who was looking at her and wondering what's going on, I just can't do it anymore. I can't keep holding all this stuff in all the time and being this way. Plus, I keep seeing my child. She don't want to do all the anger and madness. She just wants forgiveness. And girl, Hannah said that she can do it. She said she not crazy. She ain't pulling one. She just don't want to do any of the craziness anymore. She assured them, y'all gonna be seeing me. I ain't finna disappear or nothing. And before she left, she asked Hannah to hug her. And child, when she did, I lost it, she lost it, and Hannah lost it. Child, they hugged and she left. Soon as she walked out that door, baby, when I tell you Crystal Fox is an amazing actress, she gave it to God. Do you hear me when I say it? She gave it to God that day, baby. She began to thank God. She said, see, Benny, he answered my prayers. See, family, sometimes we need to take that as a teachable moment. As powerful as that scene was, what I took away from it is never lose your faith. Sometimes we pray a prayer and it don't manifest in the time that we think that it should, and we begin to feel that we done been forgot about and left out. No, when you pray a prayer, Get up from that prayer believing that it will come to pass, and work on being a better version of you until it happens. Sometimes when we ask God for something, He ready to give it to us, but He know we ain't ready to receive it. So He got to let us keep on going through them highways and byways of life until we get to that point where we are prepared for the blessing to manifest itself. For years, she been praying for her child, praying that she come home, praying she gets some sense about herself, praying that their relationship can be restored. And it took a minute. But look what happened. And that was the end of last night's episode of the Have and Have Nots family. I will be back, and I don't know what I'm going to talk about. It's Wednesday now, child. I don't know. I might not come back until, it's time for us to do the end of the week trending topics. Thank you all so much for your continued support. My A1s from day ones, thank you, thank you, thank you. For those of you who came along as the journey was beginning, those of you who came in the last few weeks, I thank you for your support. I hope that I can continue to keep you uplifted, entertained, and all of that. I appreciate y'all, and as I end every video, the depth of your struggle will determine the height of your success. In the meantime, in between time, please remember to rate the video, because ratings get me recognized on these YT streets as if I need it. But child, comment down in the comment section, child. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on last night's Have and Have Nots. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for the free 99. Also press your notification bell button so that each and every time I drop a pre-recorded video or go live from this channel, you will be notified and you can come over and enjoy the conversation or whatever I'm going to be over here doing. Thank you all again for your support, and I will see you on the next upload. Peace.